Hello everybody, and welcome back to Certified Collectibles. Now, if you're a video game collector, or if you've just been watching the video game market for the past few years, you know that the value on video games and video game consoles has been skyrocketing. Now, this is more evident in the factory sealed versions of games and consoles than it is for the incompletes or the complete in box versions. A video game this complete in box you may pay 50, 60 bucks for. Factory sealed you can pay thousands, maybe 10,000 or more for. Same thing with consoles, especially these retro consoles. Opened, complete in box, under $100 for a console like this. Factory sealed in this condition here, expect to pay 10,000 or more. There's just not a lot of factory sealed consoles, especially these retro consoles from the early 80s out there. Because of the price difference between complete in box or used versions and the factory sealed versions, there's been a lot of incentive for some unscrupulous sellers to try to reseal their games and pass them off as factory sealed. Now, that's the case with this particular console. This was being marketed to be sold as a factory sealed console, but we got this in one look. It's easy to tell that this was a reseal. Now, there's a couple factors to look at when you're buying factory sealed boxes to make sure that they are originally factory sealed and not reseals. We're going to go through those points today to show you guys what to look for, so hopefully you guys don't get duped. And it's also very important to always negotiate returnability. That's what we do with any of the factory sealed boxes, video games or consoles that we buy, just because any factory sealed game or console, especially all the retro stuff, you're going to be buying these from around the world. You're typically going to be buying these online, either through one of the online platforms or directly through email, but you're going to be using photos to assess the original seal on these. It's often difficult to do, so always negotiate a returnability. So if you get it in and you see it's a reseal, you can send it back. If somebody doesn't offer returns, or they say you can't return it, steer clear of that, because if it is factory sealed and you're buying from a legitimate seller, they should accept returns if it turns out that it is not factory sealed. So we have a couple points today that we're going to show you guys. This applies both to video games and consoles. We're going to be looking at glue sealed, original factory glue sealed console today. This still applies to a cellophane sealed console or video game, but you also have to determine whether or not the cellophane seal is authentic, and we're not going to get into that today. We're just going to be focused on glue seal, this glue seal console here in front of us. Now, like I said, this one here was sold to us as factory sealed, and the good thing is one side was not opened at all. So one side is factory sealed, the other side has clearly been opened, so we can actually compare and contrast and show you guys the difference between the two. So this here is the Atari VCS. As you can see, this was the 1980 model. This was the last Woody model. There was a heavy sixer, light sixer, and then this here 4-switch model that came out. This was the last Woody. After this, the Darth Vader or the Atari 2600 branded model came out. So to find this factory seal, we were super excited. It was factory sealed, glue sealed, and tape sealed. So we were super excited to find this. The price we paid for it made us a little suspect that it was not original. But like I said, we wanted to bring it in and take a look, make sure. So let's go ahead and take a look at the open side, and we'll show you guys what to look for when you're buying factory sealed games and consoles. So any glue sealed game or console, to open these, you're going to have to pull these flaps up. That's always going to create creasing on the flaps. No matter how much you try to press it or steam it down, it's always going to be creasing, and you're always going to be able to see the creases on that. Big crease here and creasing here. We'll show you guys some close-up images so you can see for yourself a lot better. Now, if you angle these in the light, you can definitely see that there are creases here where someone pulled this flat back, and also on the other side here, there's creases here where somebody pulled this flat back. Make sure you rotate and turn these consoles or games in the light to make sure you can see the creases. They're almost always going to be there. It's almost impossible to peel these things open without creasing the flaps. Now, let's say that's the first thing you want to look for, and that's clearly evident that it's been opened. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other side here that hasn't been opened. As you can see, it's perfectly smooth. No creasing, no rippling, nothing wrong with the cardboard on this side. Never been touched, never been opened over here. Now, that's the first thing to look for when you're assessing whether or not something is factory sealed, like I said, with these glue sealed consoles or games. The second thing you're always going to take a look at, let's say someone had a magical ability to somehow magically open the flap without creasing any of the cardboard here. They're always going to cause color breaking along the hinge. That'll always happen. I don't know if you guys have seen packages here that haven't not been assembled when the boxes are laid flat. Typically they're printed, laid flat, and they're folded and assembled. There's scoring underneath all these hinges here so the box folds one direction which is this way. When you open this, it creates a break in this color seal here. Well, not seal, but this coloring that goes across this hinge, and it'll always cause color breaking. So let's go ahead and show you guys a close-up image of what this looks like. You can see that there is clear color breaking on this. The black does not go over the whole top of the hinge here, and you can see where the lines where this was actually folded back. So let's go ahead and take a look at the other side, the unopened side, and you can see perfectly black across here. Take a look at a close-up image. This perfectly black across the hinge here. Absolutely no signs of opening. Color is perfect here. There's no color breaking. This is what you want to look for. Now, there's oftentimes scuffing on here. Scuffing along these edges is going to look much different than color breaking from it being open. Scuffing is going to be just an abrasion. Any grading company will be able to tell the difference between scuffing and a color break from it being open. So that is definitely something that always exists with an open box that somebody's trying to reseal and pass off as being factory sealed. So the first thing to look for, of course, is the creasing from folding it back. Second thing to look for is the color breaking along the hinge here where it is folded back. Now, like I said, this one here is tape sealed also. A lot of the consoles or glue sealed games and consoles were also tape sealed. That's before the cellophane sealing. So a lot of the companies use tape seals in their manufacturing. Let's go ahead and show you guys the side here that was not resealed, show you guys what this is supposed to look like. And as you can see here with the tape seal, absolutely nothing wrong with this. It looks like a piece of tape on cardboard. This is what it's supposed to look like. Now take a look at the resealed side of this. Now, as you can see on the tape here, there is a white residue all the way around the tape. That is a clear indication to us that this has been tampered with. This white residue is often found, let's say if you're using super glue and you glue two pieces of plastic together, sometimes where the super glue thins out, the vapor or the glue itself will actually cause a chemical reaction to the compound that you're gluing together, and it'll cause this white hazing here. This is very indicative of the new adhesives, some of the new tapes and some of the new glues, let's say like super glue or so. This here has clearly been resealed in some fashion. Either the tape was steamed off, a new adhesive was put on the back and was folded back over. This was a new piece of tape that was applied all together on this side here. But this chemical reaction from this adhesive here, this white haze, is not natural. This is not what you're supposed to see on an original tape seal. And it is not on this portion. It's just here, which leads us to believe there was a new piece of tape rolled over and some new adhesive used to seal this box. So those are a few key factors that you guys can use to help determine whether or not somebody's trying to pass off a reseal to you guys as an original factory seal. Now, we hope this video was helpful to you guys. Please drop some comments in the comment section below. Let us know what you guys think. Thumbs up if you like this video. And as always, please remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you for joining us here at CertiFact Collectibles, and we'll see you again next time.